Good morning. Now, today we are going to see about CSAT. Okay. So, you will be aware of prelims, right? That is about general studies. Okay. So, now we are going to see about paper 2 CSAT, which is nothing but civil service aptitude test, right? This is nothing but civil service aptitude test. Okay. So, how this question paper will be and what is the format for this CSAT? Let me share you the slides. Go through it side by side. Okay. Okay. So this CSAT consists of 80 questions. Okay. So compared to general studies, paper 1 and CSAT paper 2, you have many variations. Okay. So when you consider paper 1, you will be getting 100 questions, right? So here CSAT, you have 80 questions. Okay. Then each question carries 2 marks. You will be aware of this GS1. Okay, paper 1. Now here each question carries 2.5 marks. Okay. Then, and one more important thing is this is a qualifying paper. Okay. So what does this qualifying paper means? If you score at least, no, if you score minimum 33%, okay, that is 66 marks. This is nothing but 33% of 200 questions. So approximately 28 to 30 questions must be correct. Irrespective of your negative marking, 28 to 30 questions must be correct. Okay. This is the minimum strategy to clear CSAT. Okay. So this 33% marks, how we can get. Okay. This is an easy scoring paper, but at the same time, this is a very important part. Why? Because it is of qualifying nature, right? Which means even if you are strong in general studies, if you are scoring 120 questions correct, which is 120 questions correct, okay, even though if you get good score in GS1, if you are not qualifying in this CSAT paper, this GS1 will not be evaluated. Okay. Which means this is the qualifying paper. Without CSAT 2 qualification, this GS1 will not be evaluated and this GS1 is invalid. Okay. So, therefore, CSAT plays a very important role which also has its impact in paper 1. Okay. Which also has its impact in paper 1. So therefore, how to score this minimum qualifying marks in CSAT? So, how many of you are from engineering background? That is well and good, okay? So, if you are from humanities or non-maths group students, that is from your school days, this CSAT is not a pure maths, okay? So, this is nothing but and simple aptitude testing. Okay, so you don't have any multiple operations, differentiation, integration, nothing. Okay. So you'll be having a simple logical testing of your capability. Okay. What is the syllabus for this CSAT? So don't get fear about this CSAT paper. Even if you are not good in maths, you can easily clear this CSAT. Okay. Because this does not contain any difficult part what you have studied in your school days. Okay. So even if you are not good at maths in school or college level, don't get fear about this CSAT. This is a highly scoring paper, and also one important thing, this is not as much as difficult when you compare to banking and SSC. Okay. So here CSAT is just testing your capability of logical reasoning and analytic reasoning. Okay. And also your mental ability. Okay. Then, what is the syllabus for this CSAT? Okay, so I have shared you in this. So go through once. The first thing is comprehension, right? So, one thing I want to insist here is this comprehension term, you will be familiar from your school days, okay? And also in your university exams, okay? But this comprehension in UPSC is little bit trickier, okay? So this is not the same as you have studied in your school days, okay? This is little bit trickier, and also your analytic part is very important in this comprehension, okay? So how to tackle this comprehension part? So before that, I will give you some overall picture of this syllabus, okay? So comprehension, you will be having totally 80 questions, right? So when you analyze 3 to 4 year, last 3 to 4 year CSAT question papers, when you analyze from the total 80 questions, 30 to 32, or you can have a better analysis as 28 to 32 questions or purely from this comprehension part. And also one more thing, you will not having 2 pages or 20 lines, 15 lines comprehension and all. This will have only 5 to 6 lines, okay? And 2 comprehensions, 2 to 3 comprehension will be 10 to 15 lines, but most of the comprehensions will be having 4 to 5 lines. I will show you the examples, sample papers, 4 to 5 lines, and you will be getting 1 question, okay? So reading this 1 paragraph, you have to analyze, you have to think over these things, and you have to answer this question, okay? So overall view of this question, okay? So then 28 to 32% you will be getting it from comprehension. Then next part is interpersonal skills, including communication skills. Yes, that is based on your interpersonal skills, okay? And one more thing, communication skills side by side will be improved when you start reading your comprehension, okay? Then one more thing, logical reasoning and analytical ability, okay? So as an IAS officer, you will be tackling many problems in your districts, right? You will not go through any books and do that, okay? So you will be solving only by your reasoning ability and analysis. So this part will help you to understand this reasoning factor, okay? Then mental ability. So what are the parts you have in this reasoning and mental ability? Overall picture I will give you. So comprehension, you will be having 28 to 32 questions. Logical reasoning, I will tell you what are the things present in this reasoning part, okay? Logical reasoning and mental ability, okay? From this, you will be getting 20 to 22 questions, okay? Then, basic numeracy, which means you will not get any multiple difficult operations and all, okay? From basic numeracy, you will be getting 20 to 25 questions. This is an approximate analysis taken from last or the previous 4 to 5 year question papers. One more thing, till 2014, this score was also included in prelims total score, okay? after heavy protest, this became a qualifying paper. Okay. Then, why it became a qualifying paper? Because to balance the maths group students and everyone, to make it simple for all the sections of students, okay, whether irrespective of their language, everything. So to make it a balanced exam, so this paper became a qualifying paper and everyone can solve and everyone can succeed in this part. Okay. Now, logical reasoning, mental ability, and basic numeracy. So you have the last line as data interpretation, charts and graphs. We'll see it one by one. Okay. So now, what is the first part? This is comprehension, right? So now, how many of you started reading newspapers? Tell me in your chat box after finishing, how many of you have started reading newspapers? Okay, I will see it. So if you people have started reading newspapers, well and good. Okay, to succeed and to solve the questions and comprehension, reading newspaper is very, very important. It can be Hindu, Indian Express, or Yojana, any magazine. Okay, that is well and good. Okay, reading newspapers, which means that just going through the newspapers and quitting it is not like that. Okay, so reading Hindu newspapers and editorial parts is very important. So if you started reading newspapers, you would have come across this editorial part. Okay, so this is very, very important, and trust me, if you are going through this editorial part on daily basis, or if you are a working professional, you can go through weekly at least. Okay, you can find an important editorial. Trust me, you will solve all the comprehension questions in an easier way. Okay, which means that why I am stressing this part is, last 4 to 5 years, if you go in a deep analysis, this comprehension paragraphs are taken exactly from the editorial part of this newspapers. Okay, it can be an economic part, political science, anything. Okay, it will be discussed by the experts. So this editorial part plays a very important role in comprehension. Without the change of words, it has been taken from the newspapers. Okay, this is true. And one more thing, what is the other benefit for this editorial part is we'll be having mains writing practice, right? So for that, it is also useful. And one more main is you can be strong in your current affairs. Okay, if you are going through your newspapers daily, it will play a very important role in your prelims paper 1 also. Okay, now how to read this editorial part? So even if you are not having a good vocabulary, that is not a problem. Okay, start practicing from the day 1. That is, at least from today, start reading the editorials. Okay, which means you have to read it. First reading, if you are coming across any difficult words, okay, don't skip that difficult words. Okay, go through it, find the meaning, note it, or at least you see the meaning also for the difficult words. Okay, then from the first reading, if you are not concluding any part, okay, go for second reading. Okay, analyze it. Okay, editorial is mainly based on your analysis. Okay, so at least in the writer's point of view, what is analyzed, that is very, very important. Okay, so go through this difficult words. Okay, then when you start reading, you'll have that accuracy, speed. Okay, so reading speed will increase. Why I am saying that is, 80 questions you have to solve in 2 hours. Okay, this is not so easy. If at all you did not practice well, this is not easy. Okay, so your reading speed will increase. And One more main thing I want to say is analysis part. Okay. So if you are starting to read in a day, I know that you will be having many subjects, heavy subjects, polity, geography, optionals, everything. So if it is not possible in the daytime, at least before your sleep, you can go through the editorial part. So what is the main thing in editorial part is, first you have to go through the editorial part, okay? Then analyze it, okay? Think over it, okay? And then summarize the points and take a note in 15 points, okay? 15 to at least 10 to 15 points is more than enough, okay? Take the editorial, go through once. If you are coming across any difficult words, find it, know it, then again give your second reading, think over it, and take only 10 points, okay? 10 points and make a note down, okay? So for example, any crisis, okay, if suppose it is dealing with any economic crisis in our country or any other countries, if you are taking what are the reasons for that crisis, you can take over 10 to 15 points, which can also help in your mains part also, okay? So take a note, okay? So at least on your before your sleep, okay? So if you are practicing this method, and you will be succeeding in your comprehension part. Okay, next. So what is the thing I am saying is, take your editorial page, read it, summarize it, and take a note of it. Okay, then while you are revising for your prelims or your mains, this notes will be very, very useful, and it also has its impact in CSAT. Okay, this is about reading comprehension. It can be Hindu, Indian Express, or Yojana. Okay, but many toppers will recommend you to read Hindu. Okay, because most of the questions will come, and also in mains part, from the Hindu analysis. Okay, so any paper is more than good. I am not prescribing you to read Hindu alone. What is flexible for you, Hindu, Indian Express, or Yojana, anything, but any one newspaper is compulsory. Okay, so daily you have to make this practice. Okay, so that comprehension part will be very easy. Okay, now what are the types of questions we'll be getting in your comprehension? Okay, we'll go through it once. Okay, I will show you one sample for that. Okay, whether you are getting this passage one. You are getting a passage one in your slide, right? That is about your scientific knowledge. Okay, so go through once. Okay, scientific knowledge. This is the same comprehension was asked in 2018 question paper. Okay, so I have given you the previous year question papers for you to get an idea about comprehension. Okay, so first is about scientific knowledge. Okay, so scientific knowledge or science have its both positive part as well as negative part, right? So go through once. Scientific knowledge has its dangers, but so has every great thing. Over and beyond the dangers with which it threatens the present, it opens up as nothing else can. Okay, the vision of possibly happy world, a world without poverty, without war, with little illness. Science, whatever unpleasant consequences it Science, whatever unpleasant consequences it may have, by the way, is in its very nature a liberator. Okay. What you understand from this passage? Okay. Scientific knowledge has a positive part and negative part. When you weigh it, the positives are more, right? So, over and beyond the dangers, it threatens the present. Yes, it is scientifically, you have negative part in its role. Okay. So it is threatening the present. But happy world, that is without poverty, without war, with little illness, is also possible by science. Okay. So even though if you are having many unpleasant consequences, it is also a liberator. Okay. So the positives are more when compared to negatives, right? So this is the passage. I am giving you an example which is from the previous year question paper, and this is the model. You will be getting only 4 to 5 lines. Okay. So what is the question asked is, which one of the following is the most important implication of the passage? Okay. Before going to that, I am giving you 4 to 5 keywords which you will be coming across while reading your comprehensions, right? What are the things is, implication, okay? Rational inference, okay? Implication, rational inference. I will tell you what are these things. Corollary, crucial. So these are the keywords you will be seeing in your questions. Okay. So for this entire one passage, you will be getting only one question, that is their analysis, based on your analysis. Okay. Which one of the following is the most important implication of the passage? Okay. So I will give you the difference for these words. Implication is nothing but you are arriving to a conclusion based on the above said reasons. Okay. It is not explicitly told in the paragraph. Okay. So implication is nothing but you are deriving a conclusion which is not directly insisted in the passage. Okay. From the above said lines, you are coming into a conclusion which is not explicitly given in the paragraph. Okay. Indirectly given. So for your better understanding, I can say it as indirectly told. Okay. So implication is nothing but what was told indirectly. Okay. Based on the references from the passage. This is implication. Okay. What is the rational inference? Rational inference is nothing but it is based on a strong evidence or reason. Okay. So you are coming to a conclusion only based on the evidence given in the passage. Okay. This is indirectly told. And also one more thing, these 4 words will be related to one another with slight variation. Okay. Only slight variation you will be seeing for these 4 words. Okay. So implication is indirectly told. Rational inference is strong evidence which is based on some reason. Okay. Then what is corollary? It's nothing but you will be having this from an already proved evidence. Okay. So some things will be already proved in the passage itself. Okay. From that proved part, you are getting a conclusion. This is corollary. So when I am explaining these words, it will be little bit confusing. But while you are seeing these words in your passage, you will get a clear idea. Okay. Don't get panic or don't get afraid of CSAT. It is very, very easy. Trust me, if you practice regularly, it is an easy scoring paper and it is more important for your UPSC career because it decides the paper 1 to be evaluated or not. Okay. So be prepared and start practicing from your day 1. Okay. And one more thing, some insistent prevalence of in students' mentality, some people will think that practicing CSAT before 1 month of your prelims is enough. Okay. So if you are good enough in your maths, you can go through in last 2 months. Okay, well and good. But comprehension part, you cannot come to a conclusion unless and until you are reading your newspapers regularly. Okay. And also, okay, we'll come back here. Corollary. This is nothing but already proved part, you are getting a conclusion. This is corollary. What is crucial is nothing but very, very important for this passage. Okay. So some important message will be given. Okay. So for a passage, they will be giving you 4 options, right? So these 4 options will be correct. That is, 4 options will be told in the paragraph. But from that 4 lines, which is very important, which is very crucial, which decides the main theme of that passage, is very important. That is called as crucial. Okay. So even for the 4 options are correct, even the 4 options are related to the passage, this crucial is nothing but which gives the importance to that passage and which is the main objective of the passage. Okay, this is crucial. Okay, so now coming to this question, which one of the following is the most important implication of the message? So which means that this four lines given, right? So these 4 lines are not directly given in the passage. Okay, this is indirectly derived from the concept, derived from that passage 1. Okay, which one of the following is the most important implication of the message? Happy world is a dream of science. So here the dreams of science are not discussed at all. Okay, one more thing, even if it is a GS or even if it is a CSAT, while you are choosing your answers, elimination plays a vital role. Okay, eliminating your unwanted options will play a vital role. Okay, so from this passage, the first option, a happy world is a dream of science, can be eliminated. Okay, next, science only can build a happy world, but it is also the only major threat. So, and also you have to go, while you are going through your questions, take a serious look when you are coming across only, alone, also these words, like these kinds of words, not only these words, these are very important. Okay, so only, so whether in the passage at any of the part it is given only threat to the world is science, not at all. Okay, so they can be eliminated. A happy world is not possible without science. Okay, we'll wait. We'll go for option D. A happy world is not at all possible with or without science. Okay, this is somewhat confusing. That is, it is not at all possible with or without science. So that is not given in the, indirectly also it is not given in the passage. Okay, so a happy world is not possible without science. So where it is directly told, from where you are getting this indirect version. Okay, go to passage 1. See the word. The vision of possible happy world is made by science. So the possibility of happy world is in the hands of science. Okay, so it is a general term, and they are also not saying that it is not possible without science. Okay, so from these 4 options, relatively which is correct. Okay, so you can judge relatively which is correct, that is option C. Okay, do you have any doubt for this question? If you are having any doubts, please post in your chat box. I will reply you. You can go for next part, next passage. Okay, so the top environmental challenge is a combination of people and their aspirations. If the aspirations are more like frugal ones we had after Second World War, a lot more is possible than if we view the planet as a giant shopping mall. We need to get beyond the fascination with glitter, and you have to understand that planet is a biological system. Okay, so what they are saying is importantly about your environment. Okay, so when the people's aspirations are reduced, okay, you will be having a better planet. Okay, now which of the following is the most crucial and logical inference? Crucial, logical. Logical is also nothing but based on your reason. Okay. So crucial, logical, rational inference you are taking from the passage. So when you are reading the passage, you can come across the words, the top environmental challenge is between the people and their aspirations. Okay. So frugal, what is the meaning of frugal? A simple life. Okay, so if it is a simple life, a lot more is possible. Okay, so instead of thinking the planet is a giant shopping mall and your aspirations are more and more, this biological planet will get destroyed. Okay, so when their aspirations are simple and we are following a simple livelihood, our biological planet will be protected. Okay, so now the earth can meet only the basic needs of humans for food, clothing, and shelter? Not at all. Okay. So it is not only the basic needs. Okay. Then the only way to meet environmental challenge is to limit human population. This is not given. Where at no part it is given that human population should be limited. Okay. Reducing our consumerism is very much in our own interest. Knowledge of biological systems can only help us save this planet. No. So knowledge about biological system is not insisted in the passage. So it is very easy that you can come to a conclusion reducing our consumerism, because without thinking that this is a big shopping mall, you can reduce your consumerism and you can live a frugal life. That's simple living life. Okay. So, right. So I am boring you with these passages. We'll go for an analytical reasoning. Then we can come back to remaining two passages. Okay. So now you can get an overall idea of a comprehension part. Okay. Now, what will be given in your analytical reasoning and mental ability? So even though your syllabus consists of many lines, okay, I am dividing it into 3 parts. Okay. Comprehension, analytical reasoning, mental ability, and where comes your logical reasoning also, verbal and non-verbal reasoning, and your basic numeracy. See here, you have 3 parts, and now you have got an idea about your comprehension, right? Now, what about this analytic reasoning and mental ability and basic numeracy? Okay, from in this analytical and reasoning and mental ability, you will be having questions related to simple concepts. Okay, what are they? For example, I am giving you the main topics while we are going to into the syllabus. We will be solving many problems in all the topics. Now I am giving you an overall picture of main important topics in reasoning. Okay. Now, directions. These comes under mental ability, and logical reasoning. You will be having statement questions. I will give you blood relations, and you have statement questions, coding, decoding. Okay, and mirror images, water images. So while you are starting to solve the problems, you will get an idea which part is there. Okay, so and you have many topics like this, and what are the things you have? Directions. So the questions, how the questions will be: a person is standing in facing south, which means that a person stands facing south. From there he is going towards north, and he is turning right, then he is turning north. And what is the distance here? they can ask. Or instead of taking instead of asking the distance, they can ask in what direction is he in the destination. Okay, so which means he is starting from this point. Okay, we'll be having south, east, west, north. Okay, so a person is starting here and he is moving towards south. Again, he is turning towards southwest here. Okay, or you can start from here, south. Okay, he's moving towards the center, that is from here he is moving towards east, and he is turning clockwise, that is clockwise 90 degree they can say, or anti-clockwise 90 degree they can say. Okay, so now in which direction is he facing? Now I am taking it as anti-clockwise 45 degree. Okay, so now in which direction is he facing now? Okay, these type of questions can be asked. When you are going through a question, you will get a clear idea. Okay, now for that I am giving you a sample question on slide number. So you take the 20-second slide. Okay, you are having the question 20-second slide. P, Q, R or three towns. The distance between P and Q is 60 kilometers, whereas the distance between P and R is 80. West, south are given, right? So here this is not about the importantly about direction, but it also contains the basic numeracy also. Okay, so go through it. P, Q, R. That is 20-second slide. You are having this question. P, Q, R or the towns. Okay, see the distance between P and Q is 60 kilometer. Okay, so see that P, Q, R or three towns, the distance between P and Q is 60 kilometers, whereas the distance between P and R is 80 kilometers. Okay, and also they have given Q is in west of P. Q is in, so P is here, Q is in west of P. Okay, so Q is in west of P, and this is you have 60 kilometers. R is in south of P. Okay, so P is south is R. Okay, this is 80 kilometers. So is it easy to calculate the distance between Q and R? How you can calculate? See, so the distance between P and Q is 60. Distance between P and R is 80. Okay. Q is in west of P. R is in south of P. Okay. So, do you remember from your school days, you are having a concept called Pythagoras theorem, right? Pythagoras theorem, what is it? Pythagoras theorem states that if it is an right angle triangle. So this is obviously a straight line which are connected by a hypotenuse. You can have this distance, right? What is it? 80 square plus 60 square. What is it? Can you understand? So this will give you the square of the value, right? So what is the answer for that? Post in the chat box. Did you get the answer? Or you people are solving? Yes. So taking that square root for this. Okay. So taking square root, so only one person. Okay, good, well and good. Yes. So you'll be getting 10,000 square root of this. So which means that you are taking a common square root. So you'll be getting it as 100 kilometer. It is a very simple question asked in UPSC CSAT 2018 paper. Okay. Well and good. You people are responding at least. Thank you. Okay. Next. Similarly, we have one more question. Okay. So this is one type. Next, we are seeing about blood relations, right? Okay. What are the types of questions you will be getting in blood relation? Okay. So you will be having father, mother relations, and how many females, males you are having in the family, like that. Okay. So I will give you one sample question. You will understand. So go to 16th slide. Okay, 16th slide. You read the question. A joint family consists of 7 members. Okay, a joint family. At least if you are not seeing the slide, so follow this video. A joint family consists of 7 members. Okay, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Right. Joint family consists of 7 members, 3 females. Okay. 3 females. G is a widow and sister-in-law of D's father F. So the story is given. From that, they will give you a question. Okay. That can be from given passage. You will be getting 3 questions. That is well and good. You will be getting how much marks? Each 2.5. It is very easy to score, right? Sometimes they will be giving a passage about this blood relation and they will ask 3 questions. That will be very easy, or at least 2 questions. Okay. So, and also when you analyze for the past 3 years, you are getting blood relation topic. Okay. So how to solve it easily? Okay. I'm saying you that if in the question, if it is given as male, have a square. Okay. If it is given as a female, have a round. That is a circle. Okay. For insisting their names, you are having these symbols. It will be very easy when you are counting males and females. Sometimes question will be asked, how many males are in the family? How many females are in the family? But here this is given. I'm saying another type of question. Okay. Now, female. Okay. If they are married, connected with 2 lines. If they are siblings, that is brother, sister, you can connect it with a single line. So in the upcoming classes, in the topic of blood relation, I will explain you very well. But now I am giving you an overall picture. For males, you have a box. Females, you have a circle. If you are married, double lines. If it is an unmarried, siblings, you are not unmarried, if they are siblings, brother and sister, or 2 sisters, you can connect it by single line. And if they have generations, that is grandmother, mother, and their daughter, you can have like this a tree. Okay. So now I will solve this question with the help of that. See, the first statement is given. You have 3 females. Okay. G is a widow and sister-in-law of D's father F. Okay. So D is there. D is having a father F. So F is a male, right? G is a widow. Okay. G is a widow and sister-in-law of D's father F. Okay. So F is having one wife. Okay. And her sister is who? G. Okay. Can you understand? If you have any doubt, please post it in chat box. F is father of D. Okay. So D's father is having a sister-in-law, which means she can be a sister of his wife. Okay. Then F, B and D are siblings. B and D are siblings. Okay. Okay. And A is daughter of B. Okay, A is daughter of B, C is the cousin of B, who is E. Can you understand? Are you following? Okay, G is a widow. First statement, G is a widow and she is sister-in-law of D's father F. B and D are siblings and A is daughter of B. C is cousin of B and who is E? Then who will be E? Answer my question. Who will be E? Okay. So what can be your answer? E can be? Okay, I will solve. D, A is daughter of B. A is daughter of B. Okay. A is daughter of B. C is the cousin of B, who is E. Okay, what is who is cousin actually? Uncle or aunt's son. Okay, or okay. So C is cousin of E. So who will be E? Wife of F, because they have given it as only 3 females. Okay. So what is the question asked? So who is E? Wife of F. Right. Grandmother of A. Yes. Aunt of C. Right. Because C is the cousin and uncle or aunt's okay, uncle or aunt, son or daughter. Okay, so go through the options: wife of F, grandmother of A, aunt of C. Both, all the 3 options are correct. Okay. Do you have any doubt? Option D is correct. Okay. So if you have any doubt, so I am giving you an overall picture. If you don't understand or clearly if you are not understanding, don't worry. In the upcoming classes, we will solve these types of questions. Okay. Why I am not insisting you to have that C here? Why? Because you have 3 females, right? So Kandipa, sorry. So this C will be a male, okay, uncle or aunt's son. Okay, now our part is to know that who is E, and E is a female. Okay, and this part is blank. Okay, and you have A, B, C, D, F, G or filled here. Okay, so the remaining is E. Okay, C is nothing but uncle or aunt's son. Okay, so what is the thing needed for your tree? You solve that alone. Okay, so from this you can answer 3 to 4 questions if it is asked. How many married couples are there? How many unmarried persons are there? How many males? How many females? You'll be getting variety of questions, so you can easily solve this blood relation. Okay, then coming to mirror image and water image, very easiest part, that is, you all know when you are seeing your any object in mirror, how this picture will arise. Either it is from left to right, which means if you are seeing yourself in a mirror, left will be right, right will be left. That is, you will be having, so for example, how the question will be, they will give you some pictures like this. Okay, and what is the mirror image for this picture? Okay, so for this mirror image, you will be getting what? Your left part will be right, right part will be left. Okay, suppose if you are getting it as and water image, they will ask you, simply I am giving you an example question. If they are giving it as W, what is the water image for this picture? They will give you four options, four different options. Okay, what is the water image for this W? It will be upside down. That is, when you are seeing your picture in water, it will be upside down, right? When you are seeing it in mirror, it is left to right. Okay, so this variation is more than enough. Okay, we'll be solving questions, you will clearly understand. So, but remember that if it is a mirror image, it is left to right. If it is a water image, it is upside down. Okay, next. Next. Then, what about your reasoning part? I have given you some of the topics, right? And we'll solving the questions soon. Then, what is about basic numeracy part? In basic numeracy, you will be having the most familiar, your favorite topics in school. What is it? LCM, HCF, ratio, speed, that is time, distance, speed. Okay, time and distance, speed, and the most important one is simple interest, compound interest, and mensuration part. That is, you'll be having cubes, cuboids, then cones, cylinder for surface areas, like that. Okay, then, and one more thing, you have many topics here. I am giving you the most important one alone. Okay, time and distance, simple interest, compound interest, and probability. You'll be having it with coins and all, right? So you are having a 52 cards. What will be the probability of getting a king? What is the probability of king taking a queen? Like that, okay? And you will be having many questions related to probability, right? Then, ratio, speed, distance, time and work. And the most important part is percentage, average, and profit and loss. Okay. Why I am insisting these parts alone means in basic numeracy, you are not at all having this alone. You are having many topics. You will be solving that. But why I am insisting LCM, HCF, percentage, average, profit and loss, speed, time and distance and all, because last 4 years to 5 years questions reveals this. What is it? These parts, the questions are asked from these parts 80%. In basic numeracy, you are getting questions from these parts frequently. Okay, at least you will be getting simple interest one question, profit and loss two questions, percentage 2 to 3 questions, average, LCM, HF. These are very simple part which you are reading from your, so working out from your 6th standard level. And also only the numbers and the format of questions are changed. Okay, but the topics are same. Okay, because in 2017, 18, 16, 17, 18, they have asked the question simple interest. Only they changed the numbers and the format, but which means that simple interest for 4 years or 3 years, like that. Okay, but the question is only from simple interest part. So what I am insisting you is, please practice previous year question papers. After all your workouts of topics, go through the previous year question papers. Okay, it will give you a clear idea. Okay, now these are very important part. Okay, so in basic numeracy, I will give you some example questions. Whether you can understand. So wait, I will give you 1 second. Okay, take basic numeracy part, that is your 17th slide, okay? 17th slide, take this basic numeracy part. So, I am coming into basic numeracy, it is a very important part. So, if you are good enough in maths, or if you are trying to practice the previous year questions, you can solve this part very easily, okay? So, first in basic numeracy, what you are having? You are given some dots, right? A dot plus, which is nothing but you will be getting a number here. Okay, that's it. Okay, you will be getting a number here. One, correct. You will be getting a number here, right? So while solving this, what will be in this end? Okay, so try to solve this. Whether you are getting answer, post it in chat box. Are you getting answers? Okay. So 1, 2, 3 before, 1 after. Sorry. So what will be in the box? Can you get the answer? See, so this is nothing but basic numeracy part. You will be getting number series also or missing numbers. Okay, and then here you have the options, right? What are the options you have? 4, 5, 6, 8. Okay. So for these type of questions, you can follow trial and error method. Okay. You will not having any bigger formulas, nothing. Okay. Because for this number series and this filling of the missing numbers, you don't have any a common formula or trick. Okay, so they can be asked in any manner. Okay, some link should be there, right? So 4, 5, 6, 8 is given, so you can go for trial and error method. What is it? So if you are substituting 4, okay, 4, 14, 24, 43, 41. Okay. So while you are seeing this number, it will not come in 200s, right? So this is a three digit number which will have in terms of 200s. Okay. So if you add this, you don't want to add and get an exact value. Okay. So I am not saying you to substitute each and every number and calculate the whole answer. Okay. Approximately when you check this, you will know that it is not crossing 200 at all. Right. For 5 also, it is easy. 5, 15, 25, 45, sorry, 25, 53, 51. So when you add this, we'll be getting some around 100. Again, here also it is not crossing 200, right? And for also 6, the same case. So automatically you can get the answers 2 and 8. Okay, the remaining option is 8. Okay, these are basic numeracy questions asked. Okay, clear? Okay. And then next slide. And these are the types of questions asked in basic numeracy, okay? X is greater than or equal to 25, Y is less than or equal to 40, then which one of the following is always correct? So these types of questions can be asked in reasoning part, that is analytical or logical reasoning also, you can say this topic, okay? So what they have given is X is greater than or equal to 25. So see that question, X is greater than or equal to 25. Okay. Y is less than or equal to 40. Okay. So how can you conclude this? Right. Here also you can eliminate the options. Okay. So what is the thing given here? X minimum value starts from 25. For Y, minimum value starts from maximum value is 40. So this is clear, right? So go for first option. X is greater than Y. Not at all. Okay. X can be 25. Y can be 40. You don't know. Okay. So X and Y can be any values, but minimum value of X is 25. Maximum value of Y is 40. And if at all you are taking X as 25, Y as 40, the first option is wrong. Okay. X is greater than Y. No. Y minus X is greater than 15. Y minus X is greater than 15. So it can be equal to 15, but it is not greater than 15, right? Now, Y minus X is less than or equal to 50. Yes, it can reduce. When you are taking it as 39, 25, it can reduce, and also it can go to negative values. X minus Y is greater than or equal to 65, wrong. So these are basic questions and the correct answer is C, okay? So these types of questions can be asked in basic numeracy, okay? Then, and percentage topic, see the slide. 20th slide, just a sample question. We'll finish off the session soon in 5 minutes. Please listen. A student has to get 40% marks to pass in an examination. Okay. So simple question. A student for passing, he has to get how much marks? 40 percentage marks. Okay. If he gets 40 percentage, he is passed. Okay. Now, suppose he gets 30 marks and fails by 30 marks. Okay. A student has to get 40 percentage marks to pass in an examination. Suppose he gets 30 marks and he fails by 30 marks. What's the maximum marks in the examination? Okay. Now, so pass percentage is 40, right? He is getting 30 marks and he is failed by 30 marks. Okay. So what is the pass marks? 60 marks is your pass marks, right? What is the pass percentage? 40. So, how can you get the answer? 40 percentage is what? 60 marks. Okay. And what is 100 percentage? You can easily calculate, right? For these types of questions, you can either cross multiply and get, or you know the simple strategy of counting in ratios, you can answer. So if you are not able to answer, don't worry. This is an introduction class. I am giving you a basic introduction. So you can solve in the upcoming classes. Okay. So now, so what is the 40 percentage? So take it as X. Okay. So 60 into 100 by 40. So solving, how much you will get? So if you are solving it in simple method, 150 marks, okay? I will give you shortcuts for this type of percentage questions in our classes, okay? So what is the maximum marks? 150, okay? So these types of questions will be asked, and I have given you the sample questions for all the topics, right? So you go through the slide once. And you have the, in syllabus, you have the last topic, data interpretation. What is data interpretation? Is nothing but you will be given a tabulation, bar graph, chart, anything. Okay. From that, you will be getting the question. Last question, please listen. Consider the following graph of death rate and birth rate of a country. They will give like this, or they will be giving you a graph. So the population in 2001, 2002, the weightage. Also, they will be saying you it is increasing or decreasing. So from 2002 to 1, what is the sorry, from 1 to 2, what is the increased percentage of population? They will be giving you a population in this. So for that format, I'm giving you a question. Looking at the graph, what you can infer. Okay, from 1990 to 2010. So go to the option. Population growth rate increased, decreased, remains stable, no trend. Okay, what will be your answer? Share it in the chat box. What will be your answer? Whether population rate in growth is increased or decreased. Okay, see birth rate and death rate, compare it very closely. So for a population growth, what has to happen? For a population growth, death rate must be increasing, birth rate, at most it should be stable, right? So seeing the lines, death rate is steeply decreasing, birth rate is going in a little bit variated way, right? So death rate is steeply declining, which means that death rate is reduced. So that population is slowly, growth is slowly increased. Okay. So the answer is you can eliminate the other options and you can conclude. Okay. Population growth rate is not decreased because the death rate is declining and it is not remaining stable, and you cannot say that it is no trend. Okay, so you can go that it is slowly increasing. Okay, because birth rate is remaining stable for little bit of time. Okay, so this is your answer, C. So you will be solving these type of questions soon. Okay, next, what are the reference books you can choose? See, the CSAT manual by Tata McGraw-Hill will be having previous year question papers. So at your starting point of preparation, don't go for that question papers. Okay, solve and R.S. Agarwal's quantitative aptitude, right? You will be having this book when you are an engineering student, or else buy this book, quantitative aptitude. Okay, so solve the topics, speed, time and distance, HCF, LCM, these type of questions solve in this R.S. Agarwal, and you can go for this analytical reasoning again, verbal and non-verbal reasoning, and at last you can go for this Tata McGraw-Hill, and not only Tata McGraw-Hill, any question bank which is having last previous year 5 to 6 years question papers. Okay, so start solving that, and don't forget, start to read newspapers, editorial pages, so that you can solve comprehension easily. Okay, so we'll be dealing with CSAT, and I will be giving you many shortcuts in the upcoming classes. Okay, thank you.
Super.